President Walter Eckelhart. I've been called him Walter today, not Bunky. He's Walter. The governing board, the National Planning Council, staff, Susan and Melissa, and esteemed members of ATALM. Goodness, thank you. Thank you for selecting me to receive one of your 2 Pathfinder Awards for this year. I get to stand on the same podium with Winona LaDuke. Never done that before. We'll probably never do it again, but thank you, Winona. I am greatly humbled by this honor, especially to follow in the footsteps of some of Turtle Island's intellectual and cultural giants, such as LaDonna Harris, N. Scott Momaday, and the late Wilma Mankiller, to name but a few of your Pathfinders. And your program reflects that you have been exchanging much information and learning in your time together in this expansive land of enchantment. For 3 years, some time ago, I too studied in this place and earned a Doctor of Philosophy degree in the university down the road, south from here. But today I am a Cheyenne Indian woman, octogenarian, really, and I am essentially a several-volume book of speeches, class lectures, interviews and some videos, and on a few CDs in our tribe's national archives. However, the majority of my life is still relegated to the world of undocumented oral traditions. And what I have to share with the world is still contained within the interior landscape of my heart and my mind. Like many elders before me, and many who will leave this world after me, we will take much priceless knowledge back to the earth with us. You know, I was born in the Depression days of Oklahoma and enrolled in school when some of my kinspeople still lived in box tents in an encampment along the Ouachita River in western Oklahoma. It was a happy time. And we still communicated primarily in our language, maintained our tribal value system and our ways, and somehow managed to keep the Western world from making too great an impact upon the Cheyenne world. Our leaders knew, however, that this world was changing, but they held on to the old ways as long as they possibly could. In the meantime, they made sure that I continued to learn our language, our values, our ways. And by that time, some of our youth had attended boarding schools, federal boarding schools, both on and off the reservation. And we knew that based upon the prophecies of our great prophet, Sweet Medicine, that Anglo form of education was going to be a way to strip us of our ways and our languages as a people. And that was when I decided that I was going to become a teacher. And I did, and I went on to become a professor. And I retired as a university professor from Montana State University. But in the meantime, Sweet Medicine warned us of the strangers from the east who would take our lands, and we would be left with only small remnants of what were once expansive homelands. I have often heard our elders pray that we be left with a small parcel of land from which we could send our prayers out to the four sacred directions of the universe. I still hear that today. Well, as you know, our lands dramatically decreased with one treaty after another and one piece of legislation after another, especially the Dawes General Allotment Act of 1887. Through that piece of legislation alone, we lost 90 million acres of land. Obviously, the peoples that were here first and those who came later did not and do not today hold the same view of land. If we did, then we would not have the same issue over Indian sacred sites to which Walter referred in terms of our work on Indian sacred sites, on American Indian religious freedom. For us, Noawas, Bear Butte, is our sacred site as Cheyenne people. It is the spiritual center of our universe as Chichtais people, and it is a female mountain. It is described as having a hollow interior, like a teepee. And it was there that Sweet Medicine was taught by all of the sacred powers of the world for 4 years. And he codified the ways by which we were to live as a people. He was a very gifted person who could see into tomorrow. And we know that Bear Butte protects us as a people. That is why we have to save that place. But it was established as a South Dakota State Park in 1961. Today, around it is held the largest motorcycle rally in the world at Sturgis. And there are other sacred sites that are facing desecration and destruction of one type or another. We hear of the San Francisco Peaks. We know about Standing Rock. We know about the pipelines that cross and crisscross our beloved mother, the earth. And we know that we need to protect her. And we know that as this land's first people, that we live in a spirit-filled world, which my father taught me, which his grandmother, Woista, or just Woista, white buffalo woman, taught him. Woista was the last of the Cheyenne people to have to forcefully break the relationship with the horse and the buffalo. She and I shared 4 beautiful years together, just 4 years, but she influenced my life. She conducted the Cheyenne baby blessing ceremony for me. She took my tiny body, my father told me, and held it like a pipe, and introduced me to the sacred powers of the world that sit at the 4 sacred directions of this world, and uttered a prayer for me. I don't know what that prayer was. I'm sure it must have included living a life of service to and for the peoples, because that is what I have done. I'm sure she asked for blessings upon this life that I have lived. In keeping with her prayers and with her blessings, I have been blessed in my life journey. I was blessed in having had a great-grandmother named Woista, who ceremonially blessed me as an infant. And Mahil, the everywhere spirit, has given me the long breath of life. I have walked on this beautiful Earth Mother of Fires for 83 years, and all of you have blessed me today. And my heart is full. Thank you. Now, Shem.